This week, one of the big lessons that I got schooled in is the power of bonding. One of the things that I've actually really enjoyed is the fact that we're on Zoom meetings and we don't have a whole bunch of pleasantries. It's just all down to business. It's all down to execution. It's all about what's the next thing that's got to get done. But this last week, we ended up having a significantly impactful management meeting. And what ended up happening is, for some reason, the agenda just went off the rails, where people were just airing what was going on. They were just talking about matters and issues. And you know what? All the things that we wanted to cover off in the agenda got covered off in a much more organic sense. And people had the opportunity to talk in a manner and a form that was extremely comfortable and almost therapeutic for them. This unstructured meeting, in reflection, got everything done that we wanted on the agenda, but also provided a base for everybody to actually just feel better about where they stood and what was going on in the organization. In this time where we're all about, Zoom meetings and specifically getting done what needs to get done and being super efficient, make time to have unstructured meetings. Make time to have an unsocially distanced Zoom call. So 2 weeks ago, I got a call from an extremely experienced board member in one of our portfolio companies. And he said to me, Cam, he said, you just had to run a tough press. He said, you need to utilize your board of advisors. And when this gentleman speaks, I listen. And what he was telling me very gently was that we have a bunch of advisors who are really experienced in a number of things that I was dealing with at that particular time, and I wasn't utilizing them. So not only is that my bad in not utilizing them, but I also risk losing them because they are now associated with a company where they're not in a position to provide input and impact on things that they really could be meaningfully helpful with. So I scheduled a board of advisors meeting. And what became very clear is, first of all, we have a great purpose in the company, and the board of advisors followed suit and set a really great purpose. The lesson that we got out of this, though, is no window dressing. If you're going to have a board of advisors who have great names and all the rest of it, if they're really good advisors, they don't want to be window dressing. They want to contribute. They want to be able to be a part of a solution. Even though if they're good advisors, they're probably amongst the most busy people you know. I was actually afraid to use our advisors because I didn't want to take up their time, or I didn't want this to be a burden. And what we found in the meeting is that they wanted to dig in, that they wanted to be a part of that solution and have impact on what was going on. So the lesson, no window dressing. Last Friday evening, I'm unloading groceries and the phone rings. It's not a number I recognize. Not sure why I picked it up, but I picked it up and it was a senior government official. And that senior government official said, hey, listen, they have a technical challenge that they need to solve, and they heard that one of our portfolio companies might have a solution. And I just said, yeah, we have a solution. Not really knowing that we had the full solution of what they were looking to provide. But the first thing I did is I just said yes, because we needed to get into it. I mean, you needed to understand more. So I called up all the appropriate team members, and we rallied around the particular challenge or problem at hand. And by the end of the weekend, we had put a proposal together that, frankly, on Friday night, we didn't have the solution for. We didn't have the answer for. But by the end of the weekend, we had the answer for. And the lesson out of this is that it's not about perfection. It's not about agreeing to provide the perfect product at the perfect time for the perfect price for the perfect customer, because none of that ever happens. What happened for us this last weekend, and it was like an excruciating weekend for everybody in our families, we all sacrificed to get this all put together. But what came out of it is we have a groundbreaking product that we can deliver, that's going to have impact, that has incredible purpose around it. But on Friday night, we actually didn't have that. We had kind of pieces of it. The lesson, never ever let perfection get in the way of progress.